I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. And I sure do love my job. Yeah. I was born to preach the gospel. I was born to preach the gospel. I'm born to preach the gospel. And I sure do love my job. Yeah. Yes, I really love my job. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Oh, I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Yes, I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Get firmly rooted. So let's get firmly rooted. Let's get firmly rooted. So let's get firmly rooted. Oh, I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. Let's get firmly rooted. Firmly rooted. Let's get firmly rooted. Yeshua, 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 Yeshua. I'm a disciple that makes disciples that makes disciples. We are disciples that make disciples that make disciples. We are disciples that make disciples that make disciples. We are disciples that make disciples that make disciples. Let's keep firmly rooted. Firmly rooted.
Firmly rooted family, good morning. Strengthening our roots on this Wednesday morning, and as I told the guys in the men's devotion, once again on a Wednesday, I successfully got the trash out. So, just one of those fun things for a Wednesday morning. Vivian Davis, good morning. Pamela C, good morning. Olivia Thompson, good morning. Diane Giroux, hi everyone. Amanda McCormick, good morning. Jody Glenn, good morning. Bert Reggiani, good morning. Anne Marie Johnson, good morning. Anne Marie Bell, good morning. And Ava Thompson. Hey, we got Ava. We got the two sisters, Ava and Olivia, on board. Awesome. All right, going through some verses that at first glance are difficult sometimes when the first time that you've gotten into the Word and haven't done a whole lot of cross-referencing in the Scriptures, and so you're just trying to take the sentence for what it is, and some of these things can twist you a little bit, and so I'm glad we're hitting this part. Emily and Abby, good morning. So we were talking about John the Baptist yesterday. Hey, Nikki, good morning. Listen to what Jesus continues to say. I tell you the truth, among those born of women, there has not risen anyone greater than John the Baptist. So he elevates John, right? He elevates John. Yet he who is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. He who is least in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. And everyone says, well, wait a minute. If you're lower than the least of the ones in the kingdom of heaven, does that mean John he didn't make it into the kingdom of heaven? What are you trying to say? If everyone, even the least of those in the kingdom of heaven, are greater than John, then is John disqualified? This is where you have to read context to help you. From the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven has been forcefully advancing, and forceful men lay hold of it. From John the Baptist to now, the kingdom of God is on the move. John is this tweener prophet, significant, but in between the two covenants, the covenant of the Old Testament and the covenant of the New Testament, which the covenant of the New Testament fulfills the covenant of the Old Testament. But John is not going to participate in the explosion of the church. John's not going to be one of the disciples that is going to be sharing the gospel. He's not going to be one of them that sees the death and resurrection of Jesus. He is the closing of the Old Testament, and he is the opening of a door to the New Testament as he paves the way. He is not saying that John the Baptist didn't make it into heaven. What he's talking about is the ministry of the kingdom of God on this earth, not heaven. So, he goes on to say, for all the prophets and the law prophesied until John. See, he goes back to the Old Testament and says, the prophets and the law were up till John. And he says, and if you're willing to accept it, he is the Elijah who was to come. He who has ears, let him hear. He is trying to say, are you listening to me from the right kingdom? Then he goes on to say this, to what can I compare this generation that doesn't hear when I speak and doesn't understand when I'm speaking clear truth? They are like children sitting in the marketplace and calling out to others, we played the flute for you and you did not dance. We sang a dirge and you did not mourn. Like immature children playing and the adults aren't dancing. He's saying, what can I compare this generation to? A generation that is hearing the music, hearing the message, but in no way reacting to it like they should be. Like a spiritual blindness, a spiritual delusion is over them. He goes back to John. For John came neither eating nor drinking, and you guys say he has a demon. The Son of Man came eating and drinking, and they say, here is a glutton and a drunkard, a friend of tax collectors and sinners. Does this not sound like today's society? That we can twist anything to make it bad? John came, like the prophet Elijah, and you said he was demon-possessed. I come eating and drinking and hanging out with sinners, and you call me a drunkard. You're unwilling to accept either one of us. You've created your own little system, and we're not fitting into your system, and so you're rejecting all of us. He finally says, but wisdom is proved out by her actions. Jesus constantly tells us that if we have spiritual wisdom and discernment, we'll begin to see things we didn't see before. We'll begin to catch things we didn't catch before. That we're patient enough to see the fruit that comes. We don't just take people at their words, but we watch their lives. If their lives are not congruent with their words, then we back away, right? But how interesting John was misunderstanding yesterday. John wasn't sure he understood Jesus. Jesus clarified that with John through his disciples, and now he's telling the people, you don't understand either one of us. You're still not getting it. And I wonder if that isn't true even sometimes within the Christian church, that we're not getting him. Well, I hope, one, going through it this way has helped you understand these verses. And two, maybe there's a nugget there that you've taken away, something that God's going to have you pondering today about your own life and your faith walk. All right, that's what I have for you. Coffee shop's empty if you want to come in. Blessings on your day. Make it a firmly rooted day, and may someone see Jesus in us today. Peace.